It was that bad. It wouldn't have been as bad if I'd been playing it more consistently, but I've been playing it so inconsistently that just dropping in like this, oh Lord. But yeah, just just dropping in like this and trying to play the end game is hard on me mentally, and I'm already tired. It's late. It's almost 3 in the morning, and I'm like, oh, let me get up and finish this game. I wanted to stream it, but there's something wrong with the full screen on this game. It gets in the way of my OBS, and I mean, I could have done it, but I wouldn't have been able to see like the chat and everything. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just record it and hope it gets recorded. Boom, dong, damn.
This gong must be used as a call to worship.
Oh boy, don't do that. Oh my God. Should not have done that. Is that Dagon? Oh shit. That's like Mother Hydra. No, that's Hydra. Cause the big titties. Can I suck your big mommy titties, Hydra? Oh, he tripping for real. He tripping for real, dog. This is just too much. He can't handle this. You in there with the gods now. Battle with the gods. The hell? Oh shit. It's a pretty good weapon, to be fair. I don't know what's going on.
The pool is sealed tight.
I don't know, maybe we gotta go back here.
It's written in some kind of ancient language. According to the text, the doors can only be opened with an ancient chant spoken by someone in possession of a sacred charm. The doorway is sealed by some mystical force.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what do I have? I don't have a sacred charm. Oh, wait a minute. I just don't want to be down there when the creatures come out. I might wait until the next wave. I might watch whoever that is. I might watch their playthrough of this game too. I want to see somebody suffer besides me. Oh shit. Cause I've had enough. My aim ain't that great. But the closer you get, the more likely it is you're gonna get hit, bitch. Come on. No, it ain't doing shit.
I can't lift the cover. These pipes control the flow of water into the pool below.
Fucking broke leg, man. Broke both of them too. Shit. My God. This is my first time wearing a white beater, by the way.
The pool is sealed tight. If I could release the water, then I might be able to flood the pool.
He said, I want this to end.
I'll be sacrificed.
Jack, I feel the same way, bro. Maybe I gotta crawl through the hidey holes when the monsters come out. That don't make no damn sense. How would I get up there still?
I can't lift the cover. The pool is sealed tight. These pipes control the flow of water into the pool below.
Do I gotta fucking pray? What the hell is that? Did I just climb up something?
If I could release the water, then I might be able to flood the pool.
I hope that's over.
According to the text, the doors can only be opened with an ancient chant spoken by someone in possession of it won't budge.
Mm-hmm. She gotta go to. This game just fucking glitched out on me. Fantastic. Fuck. Okay. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Okay. Yeah, the game just glitched the fuck out on me there. It happens, I guess. What is this? Did I come into this? Oh shit. Well, back at square one. Man, what the hell? I can't get up there.
The pool is sealed tight. I can't lift the cover. The pool is sealed tight.
Nice. Legs, bro. Damn, I said that ironically. Damn. Well, this is more relaxing than the last part, at least. Like, it's not as stressful. I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Maybe I need to be in the water. Damn. Damn. Because I saw that he was in the water in her vision or something. So, whatever the fuck that was. So I kind of thought maybe I needed to be in the water as I electrocuted it. In retrospect, not one of my brighter ideas.
It's written in some kind of ancient language. These are the tablets of Dagon. This must be the original source text for Ovid's translation, the Book of Dagon. I can now read some of the last passages. I'll write them down. These are the tablets of Dagon. This must be the original. It's a shrine for worship. I must be near the temple.
Wait, so does he have that now? Yeah, tablets of Dagon. These ancient tablets are written in the strange glyphs of the deep ones. They include the final passages that are missing from the translations in the Book of Dagon. They seem to be a prophecy. Further study would be needed to produce an exact translation, but the passage reads roughly as follows. And the time shall come when the stars are right and low, we shall raise up that which has been sunken. So shall Los Raye be lifted from the deep, and the waters shall recede from his palaces. And the one who dreams shall be awakened. Great Cthulhu shall arise, and fear and madness shall be upon the face of the world. Okay, you can tell him out of it. I'm loopy tonight. Oh, kind of a whack prophecy though. Cause it's like, hey, haha, we're gonna raise Cthulhu and he's gonna make you all mad and crazy. Like, that's the plan the whole time? Like, I thought human beings were beneath you. And you worry about making us go mad from seeing Cthulhu and all his tentacles? Whoa. Well, we got this. Just can't do anything else. Oh shit. Hell no. My bad. Let's try again. Not a damn thing.
The pool is sealed tight. Need to decipher it. According to the text, the doors can only be opened with an ancient chant spoken by someone in possession of a sacred charm. The doorway is sealed by some mystical force.
Oh shit. Damn. Yeah, so fucked. Okay,
I can't lift the cover.
Okay. Well, I tried.
The pool is sealed tight. These pipes control the flow of water into the pool below.
Well, okay.
These are the tablets of Dagon. This must be the original source text for
The ancient tabletals. Ay, 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 ay. Ah, blah, blah, blah.
I can't lift the cover. The pool is sealed tight.
Maybe I gotta jump in. I know that's like one of the obvious possibilities as far as what I need to do to make progress, but it still just doesn't make sense, because even if I could get in there, how is it going to lead to getting there? Doesn't make sense. But let me just look this time. I didn't want to be vulnerable down here, but let me see. No, I mean, they just hop out real quick. So that's not it either. Whoa!
Can't concentrate with that damn creature's wailing.
Wait, so when I'm in the water, the monsters were coming out.
I can't lift the cover.
Oh shit.
not going to be able to get through it without that charm. The pool is sealed tight. I can't lift the cover.
I
If I
can't
could release
lift
the water, then I might be able to flood the pool.
Well, I just zoned out for a second there. Yeah, I can't get up there. Yep.
If I could block out that wailing sound, I might be able to sustain the link. That sound's making my head pound. I gotta block it out. This gong must be used as a call to worship. Damn creature's wailing. If I could block out that wailing sound, I might be able to sustain the link. If I was to hit it with enough force, the sound would be deafening. The pool is sealed tight.
I was able to control the monster somehow. Which is just don't make no damn sense. But whatever. Okay. I think I got it now. This is so ridiculous. This is just stupid. But whatever. We figured it out. Let's roll with it. We don't have time to be complaining now. So it seemed like you got enough time to do like one every time, that's tedious, bro. Look at this is so stupid. Look at all the shit I gotta do here, bro. This is just fucking ridiculous, man. Fuck out of here. This shit is just stupid. Where the fuck did he go? Fuck it. Like, fuck it, man. Boing. This, I mean, it doesn't even make sense, like, how he's able to control them. I don't even get it, but... think that's all of them. Yeah. Fuck you. I killed Dagon. Fat bitch. Hell yeah. Kill Dagon. Fucking fish whore. Oh shit. That's crazy. Let's get the hell out of here. Damn, those guys were just chilling out.
According to the text, the doors can only be opened. Behuin and Kugnath, Fanu Naemna, Bagliz Kafungin, Kathavahel, Kulth Cthulhu Kafungni, Ia Rigazengaro, Ia Hydra.
Rigazengaro sounds like a cool guy. Probably not though. Alright. Oh shit. Oh! Go! Run, Jack! Oh shit! Dun, 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 dun,
The gateway can only be activated by those bearing a sacred charm, uttering an ancient chant.
But do that shit down.
Behuin and Kugnath, Fanu Naemna, Bagliz Kafungin, Kathavahel, Kulth Cthulhu Kafungni, Ia.
He's saying it so calm, considering the circumstances. So I am very favorable.
Jack, hold up. Oh my God.
Hell
Is he
yeah.
okay? What the hell happened to him? Check his pulse. Jack, can you hear me? Jack!
I think I beat the game. Oh man, I think that's it. I think I did it. And now I get to hang out with Cthulhu. Or one of the fish gods, I don't know. Oh, the ancient sea city. Damn, this ain't bad. Oh, you're one of them. So I'm living life as one of the fish gods.
Why have you summoned me?
There is something I must show you. We must hurry. Time is short.
Where are we going?
The Great Library. A terrible conflict is upon us, and our hosts will not survive it. The keenest minds are already projecting to later days.
Who will be the enemy? There have been no ructions with either the Migo in the north or Cthulhu's kin to the south.
In your wanderings, did you come upon the vast sealed trapdoors at the foundation of the old city?
Yes, but I didn't understand their purpose.
There was a terrible war between us and a race of half-polypus creatures that had been dominant until our arrival. This volume tells of that bloody period.
Lore.
Why are you showing me this now?
They are still down there, Jack, thriving in the darkness. They're plotting to break free of their bonds and wreak a terrible revenge. The end is inevitable, and close, very close.
How much time do we have? What the hell was that?
You are no longer safe. Follow me.
Damn. Yep, and here we are. For some reason, that story scared the hell out of Jack. I think I was able to change the color filter of this game. Like, it's supposed to look more grayed out than it is, which is amazing when you look at how dull the colors already are. But I think they're supposed to be duller than this. But the patch that I downloaded corrected the colors. I wouldn't say corrected, but just made them a little bit more vibrant. Jack said, "Fuck this." He said, "Fuck this, hell no. I ain't dealing with them fish motherfuckers no more." I'm so relieved that I finally finished this game, but I can't even lie, bro. I cannot lie. I'm so glad that it's over. I love this game, but that last part was annoying.
Mr. Walters?
Got on my nerves.
Mr. Walters, can you hear me? Mr. Walters?
His heartbeat is slowing.
He's convulsing. We're losing him.
Damn. I don't know. Suicide note. Now at my end, I can fully see my last case open in me a new fear, a real fear, a fear of myself, of what I am, and of what I have always been. All that I was is now lost. Hope, purpose, pleasure, all meaningless. I now walk in the shadows between worlds, and it is there I have finally glimpsed upon what lives in the dark corners of the earth. And that's, I got a D. 94% complete, 7 hours. Although you can't take that at face value, because remember, I had to go through the game again. I had to go through the game again after I lost my data. Blood loss medium, mental condition, clinically insane. Oh man, okay. Drug abuse, casual. You have unlocked the new difficulty setting. Well, that was Call of Cthulhu, Dark Corners of the Earth. One of my favorite survival horror games. But I have to say, man, that last stretch was a bit much. Man, not a fan. Not a fan of that final stage, man. Really from the start of it to the end of it. The best part of the game is definitely from the beginning to the end of the boat. But once you reach Devil's Reef and beyond, it's really it got on my nerves. I can't even lie, man. it got on my damn nerves. But all in all, I would still say this is one of my favorite survival horror games. I think it's, and a lot of it has to do with just the depth of the lore. It's so interesting in terms of wanting to figure out what's happening in terms of the Cthulhu and Dagon, the sea gods, the Marsh brothers, and the cult that was started by Obed Marsh when he discovered the tribe, and how they were finding all this gold and the sacrifices, and how that led to, the state of Innsmouth as we found it. And even though this game doesn't go into great detail about what was happening to Jack, like when you think about that last sequence when he becomes one of those great alien creatures, well, I guess I should say alien in terms of one of the, from the sea, because I'm assuming that those creatures that we saw at the end were existing somewhere on Earth, but probably in the great depths of the sea. That's what I'm assuming. And you see that part, and they don't really go into great detail about what was happening there. What I was able to get out of it was that, from what that creature said, was that there was a great war with another race of creatures. He mentioned, what did he say? Cthulhu to the south and something to the north. I think that perhaps you remember those monsters that I fought with that electricity gun. I'm not sure, but I think that he was talking about them when he said the enemy to the north and the enemy to the south. I think he was talking about Cthulhu and Dagon and those sea creatures or sea gods, but also those other monsters that we faced. And he also mentioned that the inevitable end was near. And Jack asked him, how close is it? And then he wasn't able to answer because of the explosions in the distance. And then soon after that, Jack woke up. But one could assume that what Jack realized during that conversation was that something terrible was going to happen in the near future that would cause the end of humanity, or at least humanity as we know it. And maybe that's why he was driven to madness and eventually suicide, because he knew something really bad was going to happen right around the corner. Now, how far away it was, who knows? Because the perception of time of a human being could be wildly different from the perception of time of those great sea creatures that we were interacting with. So when he said the inevitable end was near, it could mean a year from now, 50 years, 200, 500, depending on their interpretation of time relative to what's normal to them compared to, Jack or human beings. But one can only imagine what he meant there. But that's what I was able to kind of extract from that. It seems like what eventually caused Jack to go mad and commit suicide probably came from that conversation and realizing that the end was near regardless, and there was nothing he could do about it. But that's at least what it seems like. But what's interesting about this game, because it just kind of hit me, is that, one of the things that I always remember about this game is the lore. The various documents that you find, the religious texts, the various things that Jack is able to interact with and talk about as he goes through these various levels, finding occult items and statues and different things that begin to slowly unravel the story and reveal what's going on to the player as well as Jack. And even again, you don't get all the answers, but at the same time, you do feel satisfied by the end of it with what you're able to see and what you're able to understand. It's not like everything is laid out for you plain and clear. And I think in this case, it's one of those things where it's not really necessary. And I find that sometimes with games like these, when they begin to try to like reveal what's happening, a lot of times it ends up falling short of my expectations. This is one of the few games that does not do that. I think one thing that I have to give it credit for is that when you begin playing the game and there's a lot that you don't understand, and certainly everything is not given to you on a platter, and you're not meant to understand everything even by the time you finish the game, but enough is given to the player. Like, you see enough, you learn enough, you understand enough to where you're satisfied. And I have to give the game credit for that. Because one thing I've noticed is that sometimes with games like sometimes with games that lean very heavily on having a very mysterious plot and a lot of secrets and things that the player kind of has to discover for himself, and really, quite frankly, games where they intentionally don't reveal 100% of everything, a lot of times you don't feel fulfilled in terms of what is revealed to you. And sometimes that can be because there wasn't enough that was revealed to satisfy you. And sometimes it could be because they try to reveal or try to explain what's going on, and it's not as interesting as you thought it would be. And I think the cool thing about this game, the cool thing about Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth, is that it does live up to those expectations as you begin to understand the various secrets and mysteries that are happening throughout the game. Is that it is satisfying. For instance, when you encounter that giant sea creature on the boat at the end of that boat level, right? That's such an exciting moment to finally be like, oh shit. Because it all begins with you encountering the creepy half fish, half human people in Innsmouth, and you can see the gills on their neck, and then you start running into the actual monsters. And then when you encounter that giant sea creature, I think that was Dagon, right? And the one that we fought towards the end, I believe that was Hydra. Yeah, I believe the boss at the end of the ship level, I think that was supposed to be Dagon. I'm not exactly sure. I think that was though. But when that happens, it's such a effective moment of oh shit. And it's like everything that you encounter up until that point makes that moment all the sweeter, because it happens at the right time in the right way. And that's what I mean when I say, of course, you play this game, everything is not laid out for you and everything isn't going to be explained. We already understand that. But you encounter enough of the supernatural and you unravel enough of those mysteries to where you are satisfied by the end of it. And a lot of it is because of those moments. Even when you track down the Marsh Brothers, and then you see the one brother kill the other, and then you drop down and then you kill. So now that part of the story is laid to rest. The Marsh Brothers are defeated and they're dead. And so you are given enough to feel satisfied by the end of it, even though, again, there's so much more that could be explained when you look, especially with that ending sequence, and you have those giant sea creatures and the marvelous city that they were occupying, but they were also at war with Cthulhu and these other creatures. And it's like, okay, well, what's like, there's a whole story there that isn't really revealed. Like, it seems like you get 10% of what's actually happening, but so much happens in this game that even with that, you still feel good about it in the end. Obviously, towards the end there, I was very annoyed. That last level really got on my nerves, and I gotta say, I didn't enjoy it very much. Outside of maybe being able to finish off the Marsh Brothers, being able to encounter Hydra, and especially that last sequence with those strange creatures. And it's now starting to dawn on me what was happening. And I could be wrong, but follow me. And I don't think I ever realized this until now. But every time I played this game, because you know from the beginning, Jack is having these visions. And he's able to see things and understand things without really understanding why. But remember what that creature said. He said that they were at war with Cthulhu and his minions to the south and whoever in the north, right? So those visions that were guiding Jack along the way, they were coming from those creatures. And maybe this is just me not paying attention, because I'm thinking back to how I thought of this game as a kid or as a teenager when I first beat it. And I remember always thinking that Jack was having those visions because of Cthulhu. I thought that it was Cthulhu and Dagon and Hydra giving him those visions. I thought he had some sort of connection to that group, and that's why he was having those visions. But I'm realizing now, like, no, it was actually those other creatures that were at war with Cthulhu that was guiding him along the way. And now it all makes so much more sense, because those visions were keeping Jack alive. And I think that, again, those creatures, they were showing Jack things that would keep him alive so that he was able to make it to the end and encounter them and have that final meeting. Now, what purpose that served, I don't know, because it seemed like they just called him and was like, hey, it's over, bruh. We're all gonna die. The inevitable end is near. So I don't really understand the great purpose for making Jack go on this journey and guiding him along the way. Maybe it's not even like you encounter Cthulhu directly. You do encounter Dagon and Hydra, so that's cool. But I'm not even sure if you really kill them, considering the grand creatures that they're supposed to be, these sea gods. So who knows? But maybe Cthulhu is the only one that's really a deity. So but there's so much lore to this game, man. I know I did a lot of complaining towards the end there, but I almost want to play it again. I almost want to play it again now. Now that I've had that realization, I'm telling you, I never got that before. And I'm kind of mind blown right now because this is my first time realizing that the source of the visions that he was receiving that was guiding him and keeping him alive along the way came from those creatures. And they were at war with Cthulhu. It makes so much more sense. I never caught that. In my mind, I always thought that it was all just one, just fucking fish family, right? I thought they were all just in this shit together. I didn't realize that there was a separation, like different factions. And those creatures that we saw in the end in that city and that Jack was talking to, they were actually enemies of Cthulhu and the other creatures. And when you think about it, from their perspective, the humans of the earth were pretty much like probably how we view ants or monkeys. They weren't really concerned with us because they were going to war with fucking sea gods. But this must be said, for them to use Jack the way that they did, maybe human beings do have some sort of significance when it comes to something. Think about, because why even concern yourself with the human race and someone like Jack Walters unless they could be utilized for some sort of significant purpose? But again, now we're going back to things that will just never be explained. Oh man, but yeah, man, that was Call of Cthulhu. I think the storytelling, the plot, the mystery, the lore, that's probably the best part of this game. I gotta be honest, like I think that's the strongest part of this game. Every other aspect is kind of mediocre, to be honest. The combat isn't that great, but it works. It's okay. The game can be pretty spooky at times. Not always, but at times, yeah, it can be a little spooky. But it's not the scariest game I've ever played, but it has its moments. But it's pretty flawed, to be fair. Yeah, I think this is a pretty flawed game, but I think the best aspect of it, like I said, is the story and the lore. And even was one of the good things about this game is that the meat of the story and the plot is not just consumed through cutscenes. So much of it is also experienced by the player just by interacting with the environment and all the like the different things that Jack says when you interact with different things, and then he'll explain it or he'll critique it or give an opinion on it. Kind of like how when you play other survival horror games like Resident Evil and you might examine something, a painting, a vase, and they'll make a statement. But in this game, it's that times 10. Because there are so many different things in the environment that Jack can examine and interact with and talk about. And it's important that you interact with the environment because that's just as much of a way of gaining information about what's going on as reading the various texts that you find or watching the cutscenes. And just another example of how the plot and the story is really the meat and the value of this game. The gameplay is okay at best, but I think this is a survival horror game with one of the best stories. It's kind of a shame because the game is so dated and kind of janky, to be honest. I'm not gonna say that it necessarily needs a remake, but I think it's about time we had another good survival horror game that was inspired or based on the Cthulhu mythos or the H.P. Lovecraft horror novels and whatnot. Now, we all know that last Call of Cthulhu game that came out on PS4 was straight garbage. I didn't even finish that bullshit. So they tried, but that was terrible. But I would love it if they tried again. If some video game studio tried again. But look at this as the inspiration for it, though. Because this game did it right. The gameplay isn't that good. But in terms of the storytelling, giving the player a sense of mystery, making the player invested and interested in understanding what's happening, and just building a world and a plot based on the Cthulhu mythos and the H.P. Lovecraft books and whatnot, they did a good ass job. They did a good ass job with this game. It's just a shame because the gameplay isn't on par with the storytelling in this game. And that's the bad thing about it. The gameplay is mediocre at best. But man, what a ride. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you on the next playthrough. So, Johnny.